Once upon a time in the thrilling realm of NFL tight ends, the tale began with Kelce getting creative. He chose to craft friendship bracelets to greet newcomers at a tight end camp. Why, you ask? He said he was inspired by Taylor Swift and had a plan up his sleeve. So with a touch of Swift's style, Kelce set out to make the newcomers feel welcome with his unique and thoughtful gesture at the tight end camp. The whole story began with a small friendship bracelet, but now it's turned into something quite serious. You know, Taylor Swift and Kelce's friendship took a turn after an incident, and it's kind of a big deal. Let's break it down for you. But first, let's go back to how it all started. On July 26th, Kelce, a big fan of Taylor Swift, made a friendship bracelet for her. He was super excited about going to her concert, but was a bit bummed that he couldn't meet her in person. It turns out Taylor doesn't really chat with fans before or after her shows to save her voice for those long concerts of hers. Kelce spilled the beans on his podcast with his brother, Jason Kelce. Here's where it gets interesting. Kelce didn't want to miss his chance. He got creative and made a friendship bracelet, a fan tradition at Taylor's shows. But here's the twist. He put his phone number on it, making it clear he was interested in Miss Swift. When his brother asked if it was his jersey number or phone number, Kelce cheekily said, "You already know the answer to that one." If you're familiar with how Taylor Swift does things at her concerts, you'll get why these friendship bracelets are a big deal. Kelce got a bunch of them, but had a special plan to give Taylor Swift one with his phone number on it. Love was definitely in the air, NFL style. Then, a few days later on August 5th, Kelce found himself in a bit of a tricky situation. Someone dared to ask him about his celebrity crush, and you could feel the tension. It was thick enough to cut with a butter knife, but just as he was about to spill the beans, fate stepped in, and his secret crush was revealed before he could say a word.
All right now.
As rumors kept swirling about Kelce and his link to Taylor, it turned into a full-blown pop culture phenomenon. People from all walks of life, including sports commentators, couldn't help but throw in Swift references when talking about Kelce. It was like the NFL had turned into a playground for Swifties. Take, for example, when Kelce caught a touchdown pass from the amazing Patrick Mahomes. CBS Sports' Ian Eagle couldn't resist the temptation. With a sneaky grin, he joked, "Kelce finds a blank space for the score." Now let's jump ahead to when Kelce was on the Pat McAfee show. He talked about the rumors circulating about him and Taylor with a mix of amusement and mild disbelief. He found it funny how much people were talking about it, comparing it to the childhood game of telephone where rumors grow with each whisper. During the show, Kelce shared something really interesting. He took things into his own hands and invited Taylor to one of his games. But he did it playfully, suggesting they compete to see who could put on a bigger show at Arrowhead Stadium, the Chiefs' home turf. Kelce threw down the challenge, saying, "I threw the ball in her court. I've seen you rock the stage at Arrowhead, but you have to come see me rock the stage and see which one's a little more lit. We'll see what the future holds." Later on, Kelce was seen at one of his non-profit charity events wearing a fascinating piece of jewelry around his wrist. He proudly sported a bracelet with the bold word Vigilante, which Swift fans would recognize as the title of one of Taylor Swift's songs. It added a touch of intrigue to the situation. Finally, Taylor Swift took center stage when she accepted Kelce's earlier invitation. She showed up in style at the Chiefs' third-week game against the Chicago Bears. Swift, all dressed up and following the theme, sat in the stands, watching the game closely and cheering passionately for the Chiefs. She even joined in the excitement, giving someone in the crowd a chest bump during crucial plays. The peak of her excitement came when Kelce made an impressive 3-yard catch for a touchdown, putting the Chiefs ahead 4-1. Swift was beyond thrilled, and her energetic cheers echoed throughout the stadium. The game became unforgettable as Kansas City secured a decisive 41-10 victory, improving their season record to 2-1. The Kelce-Swift spectacle continued, revealing that Swift was becoming close with the Kelce family. She was seen sitting beside Donna Kelce in the luxury box, and the two seemed to be having a great time. Laughter and lively conversation filled the air as the game progressed, establishing Swift not only as a spectator, but as part of the Kelce inner circle. The press conference after the game got really interesting and became the main focus instead of the actual game. The reporters were eager for any bit of information about the new relationship and how Taylor Swift ended up at Arrowhead Stadium. Patrick Mahomes, the star quarterback for the Chiefs, shared a funny story when asked about Swift's unexpected presence. He admitted that Kelce Kelce surprised everyone with the news at the last minute. Mahomes talked about Kelce's calm way of sharing things, saying, "Sometimes Trav just says things, and you're not sure if it's true or not. He says it so casually." On Friday, he was like, "Yeah, I think she's coming to the game this weekend," and then went about his business. Classic Kelce. Even head coach Andy Reid joined in on the excitement with a twinkle in his eye. He joked, "I set them up." Fast forward to September 24th, and the paparazzi got a rare glimpse of Kelce and Swift leaving the stadium together. This was the first time they were officially photographed side by side. Kelce made a bold statement by wearing an outfit with the title 1989, a nod to one of Swift's famous albums, while Swift proudly sported a Chiefs zip-up. A little later, after the Chiefs won, Kelce and Swift were seen driving around in a cool car, and Kelce was the one driving. People loved this sight and couldn't stop talking about how cute they were. Then, after the game, Kelce did something special by renting a whole restaurant for a private party. Swift was there, along with Kelce's teammates and some lucky guests. The media was really curious and asked a lot of questions. Patrick Mahomes, the star quarterback, said at first that he didn't meet Swift during the press conference after the game, but he later explained that he actually did meet her at the party. Mahomes thought Swift was cool and a good person, but he was smart about it and said it's important for Kelce and Swift to have their own private time. Kelce decided to talk about his quick and exciting romance on his podcast. He happily remembered the fun times, like when he and his mom did chest bumps and high fives in slow motion, all happening in the lively Chiefs kingdom. But he mentioned he wouldn't spill too many details about the relationship. Kelce wanted to be respectful because, in a way, his private life wasn't so private anymore. He acknowledged that he knew what he was getting into, and he understood that Taylor Swift wasn't used to dealing with the media attention he faced, especially from his regular podcast appearances. On October 1st, the Kelce-Swift love story added a new chapter when Taylor Swift attended her second consecutive Chiefs game, bringing even more glamour to the NFL. But this time, she wasn't alone. Swift arrived at the game in a stylish way, accompanied by famous friends like Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Hugh Jackman. The excitement and rumors had been building up all week, and it was obvious that Swift's presence at the game was going to be a big event. The Chiefs played against the Jets, and after a tough battle, they won with a score of 23-20. People all around the world were excited as Swift, Kelce, and their famous friends celebrated another Chiefs victory. But the fun didn't stop there. The couple was seen enjoying themselves in the busy streets of New York City, keeping the buzz alive around their high-profile relationship. Just when fans thought things couldn't get any more surprising, Kelce and Swift made a jaw-dropping appearance on the famous comedy show Saturday Night Live. Kelce had a funny part in a skit that humorously commented on how much attention Swift gets during NFL games. It was a playful acknowledgement of the ongoing media hype about their relationship. Swift, always the entertainer, also had her moment on the SNL stage. She introduced the musical guest of the night, called Ice Spice. Now, Taylor is regularly attending games, adding more excitement to this new romance. So, what's your take on it? Feel free to share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed this update, click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be the first to see our next video.